Hello everyone, welcome to History and Culture. Heroes have loved beauties since ancient times. This theme has echoed throughout history. Whether it was Lu Bu and Diao Chan during the Three Kingdoms period, Emperor Xuanzong and Yang Yuhuan in the Tang Dynasty, or Wu Sangui and Chen Yuanyuan in the late Ming Dynasty. These are all grand and dramatic tales between heroes and beautiful women. When mentioning Wu Sangui and Chen Yuanyuan, many people may recall their tragic love story. Chen Yuanyuan was originally a concubine of Wu Sangui. Although her status was not high, she was deeply loved by him. However, fate was unkind. During the turbulent times, Chen Yuanyuan was taken away by Liu Zongmin, a general under Li Zicheng. This act undoubtedly ignited Wu Sangui's fury. Enraged, he decided not to surrender to Li Zicheng's peasant army but instead aligned himself with the Manchu Qing forces. Wu Sangui's wrath not only altered his own destiny but also changed the course of history. Li Zicheng's peasant army, faced with this sudden shift, suffered a crushing defeat and was ultimately forced to retreat from Beijing. This pivotal event profoundly reshaped history. But what happened to Liu Zongmin, the man who triggered this chain of events? Wu Sangui, a hero torn between loyalty and love. According to historians, Wu Sangui was a renowned military strategist and political figure during the late Ming and early Qing dynasties. Born into a family of generals, he received rigorous military training from a young age, excelling in both martial arts and strategy. As a young man, he passed the Imperial military examination and, leveraging his family background, was appointed as a commander of the capital garrison. Later, Wu Sangui's father married Zhu Dasho's sister as a concubine, making Zhu Dasho his maternal uncle. This alliance between the Wu and Zhu families provided Wu Sangui with even greater support, significantly aiding his military career. Under such favorable circumstances, his rise in the military was smooth, with almost no major setbacks. However, during the reign of the Chongzhen Emperor, the Ming Dynasty faced escalating internal and external crises. The emperor made numerous attempts to restore order and strengthen the dynasty. But with the Qing army pressing from the north and Li Zicheng's peasant rebellion gaining momentum, the Ming regime was on the verge of collapse. The imperial court lacked the strength to reverse its decline. Despite this, Wu Sangui fought valiantly for the Ming dynasty on multiple occasions. In 1639, he led troops against the Qing forces at Jiamishan, engaging in an intense battle. Though both sides suffered heavy casualties, Wu Sangui's troops demonstrated remarkable resilience and courage. However, as he witnessed the deep-seated corruption within the Ming court, his hopes for the dynasty's revival gradually faded. By 1644, the fall of the Ming dynasty seemed inevitable, and Wu Sangui's allegiance became the focal point of contention among various factions. The Qing dynasty, the remnants of the Ming court, and Li Zicheng's peasant army all sought to win him over. Li Zicheng made several overtures, inviting Wu Sangui to surrender. Wu was initially hesitant, considering aligning himself with the rebel leader. However, his final decision was swayed by a single, pivotal event: Liu Zongmin's actions. The catalyst for betrayal, the fate of Chen Yuanyuan. Liu Zongmin, one of Li Zicheng's closest generals, forcibly took Chen Yuanyuan, Wu Sangui's beloved concubine. This shocking incident shattered Wu Sangui's wavering loyalty and pushed him to defect to the Qing dynasty, ultimately abandoning Li Zicheng. Historical records describe Chen Yuanyuan as a woman of extraordinary beauty and talent, recognized as one of the 8 beauties of Qinhuai. Born in 1623 and passing away in 1695, Chen Yuanyuan came from a poor family. Orphaned at a young age, she was raised by her uncle, whose surname she later adopted. Her life was filled with hardships. In the chaos of war, her stunning beauty and captivating voice were not blessings but rather sources of misfortune. As a performer, Chen Yuanyuan became famous for playing the role of Hongniang in The Romance of the Western Chamber. Her first stage appearance was met with overwhelming acclaim, mesmerizing countless admirers. However, her fame also attracted the attention of powerful and ruthless figures, leading to her eventual abduction by Tian Hongyu, who later sent her to the imperial court in Beijing. Thus, a woman's beauty, intertwined with political struggles and military conflicts, played a crucial role in reshaping Chinese history. Chen Yuanyuan, who was taken to the capital by force, became an actress under the command of Tian Hongyu. However, after the death of consort Tian Hongyu's influence significantly declined, leaving him without a powerful backer. At the same time, Wu Sangui was at the height of his reputation, commanding a strong military force, making him a valuable ally. In an attempt to build ties with Wu Sangui, Tian Hongyu invited him to a banquet at his residence. During the feast, Chen Yuanyuan was brought out to perform. The moment Wu Sangui saw her, he was instantly captivated. To curry favor with Wu Sangui, Tian Hongyu went further. He gifted Chen Yuanyuan to Wu, along with a generous dowry. Wu Sangui adored Chen Yuanyuan, but due to his military responsibilities at Shanghai Pass, he was unable to take her with him. Soon after, the Ming capital, left vulnerable without strong military defense, fell. The renowned courtesan Chen Yuanyuan was seized by Liu Zongmin, a general under Li Zicheng. For Wu Sangui, this was not just the loss of his beloved concubine, it was a deep humiliation, as if someone had plucked a tiger's whiskers. Enraged by this affront, Wu Sangui made a fateful decision. He turned against Li Zicheng and pledged allegiance to the Qing. With Wu Sangui and the formidable Qing army joining forces, Li Zicheng's peasant army was no match. They suffered severe losses and were forced into a desperate retreat. Objectively speaking, the Chen Yuanyuan incident served as the catalyst for Wu Sangui's defection to the Qing. But what became of Liu Zongmin, the man who stood by Li Zicheng's side and inadvertently set these events into motion? The answer can be summed up in 4 words: a tragic downfall. According to historical records, Liu Zongmin was originally an obscure figure from a humble background, born into extreme hardship. His father was driven to death by Ming officials, leaving Liu and his mother as beggars struggling to survive. Later, he joined Li Zicheng's peasant uprising, where he fought bravely and earned great merit. His courage and achievements won him Li Zicheng's trust and favor. As Li Zicheng's forces grew stronger and eventually conquered Beijing, nearly all Ming officials surrendered. Even Wu Sangui was on the verge of capitulating. Perhaps the capture of Beijing instilled a sense of arrogance among Li Zicheng and his generals. Drunk on victory, they became reckless and complacent. Following their triumph, Li Zicheng's army indulged in plundering the capital's wealth and women. It was during this period that Liu Zongmin made a critical mistake. He abducted Wu Sangui's beloved concubine, Chen Yuanyuan. This single act enraged Wu Sangui beyond measure. In his fury, he turned against Li Zicheng and threw his support behind the Qing. The true victim of this turn of events was none other than Li Zicheng himself. Under the combined assault of the Qing army and Wu Sangui's forces, Li Zicheng's peasant army suffered devastating defeats. Pursued relentlessly, Li Zicheng eventually found himself trapped in Jiugong Mountain, Hubei. He was ultimately killed by local villagers. Liu Zongmin met an even more gruesome fate. Captured by Qing forces, he was subjected to brutal torture before dying in agony. In retrospect, all of this can be traced back to Liu Zongmin's foolish decision. As a modern saying goes, fear not a godlike opponent, but a teammate as foolish as a pig. Interestingly, amid the chaos of war, Wu Sangui managed to find Chen Yuanyuan again and brought her back to his residence, showering her with affection. However, having witnessed the fleeting nature of power and fortune, Chen Yuanyuan grew weary of worldly strife. Eventually, she chose to become a Buddhist nun, retreating from the world to seek a life of peace and solitude. Since Chen Yuanyuan's abduction by Liu Zongmin had influenced the fate of 3 dynasties, the Ming, the Qing, and the Shun regime, later generations relished telling and retelling the tale, giving rise to various interpretations and legends. Mingqing-era poet Wu Weiye immortalized the event in his poem Song of Yuanyuan. On that day, the emperor abandoned the world at Dinghu Mountain. We reclaimed the capital and crossed Yuguan. The army mourned in white, weeping in sorrow. A single rage for beauty changed the fate of the nation. This is the History and Culture channel. Liking and subscribing are the greatest help and support to us. Thank you everyone and see you in the next time.